Are you one of those widows that are receiving what do you call widows allowances, or for that matter, any form of pension allowances as a result of your spouse having passed on, and particularly having been working for government? There are scenarios and cries around people that are surviving spouses that have been receiving widows allowances from their spouses having passed on and who have been working for government. And the reason being that what happens is that most of people are not aware that such particular allowance, being in a form of annuity, will be included as part of your income, right? And then as soon as it's included as part of your income, what then happens is that at the end of the year, when SARS is calculating your total tax liability, you'll find that that particular amount, you did not pay tax on it on a monthly basis. And that's why at the end, when you submit your tax returns, you find yourself owing so much money. Yes, I've got calls, I've got messages where people are crying and say, but what can I do to reduce this tax liability? SARS is saying I'm owing 70,000. SARS is saying I'm owing 80,000. What can I do to deal with this matter? And that's a serious matter that it can actually deal with you from cash flow point of view. The truth of the matter is that, guys, in South Africa, our tax system is in a scaling rate. What do we mean? We mean that the higher you actually earn, you receive an income, the higher you're going to be taxed, right? Any form of an additional income will be taxed at the marginal rate, which can be a bit pricey, right? So if you are one of those people that are getting salary, say, of 10,000, and then there's this additional 15,000 that you're getting on a monthly basis, you are going to be subjected to tax at the marginal tax rate. At the end of the year, when we do the calculation, you find that it actually, that additional 15,000 takes you in a different tax brackets. So that is one of the crucial things that you need to be aware of. How can I deal with this? The fact of the matter is that I have to pay tax, but what can I do to actually to sort of ease the burden of this annual tax liability? Personally, I was going to approach the pension fund that is responsible to pay me and say, listen, can you please withdraw or deduct some sort of a pay as you earn employees tax on a monthly basis from these widows allowance, so that at the end of the year, I don't have this huge tax liability that is going to have an impact on me, right? Therefore, that particular pension fund, what they can do, they can actually approach SARS and get what you call directive from SARS and say, SARS, we've got these widows allowance that we need to deduct, but then we need to deduct some form of employees tax, right? Yes, employees tax, because that widow's allowance is considered to be a remuneration as per the definition of remuneration, which means that your pension that is giving you this widow allowance is being seen as an employer. Therefore, they can deduct what you call employees tax. Then you pay this on a monthly basis. Then you'll get the net amount. However, doesn't necessarily mean that you further they would have deducted a correct amount. A reason being that because they don't know what other income you are getting out there, right? So that directive might not actually, but it will ease that cash flow burden at the end of the tax period, because you would have prepaid your tax liability in advance, and that is going to ease the pressure, right? So then that can be done, and then you approach those pension fund, and then they deal with that matter. That, I think, that is one of the things that you might consider. There are others scenarios which is more a bit advanced in terms of tax planning. You're more than welcome to reach out to us, and we can have this conversation to say how to do. But over and above that, I believe that guys needs to do an estate planning. Guys, you need to do an estate planning on a regular basis, because you can prevent things like this in advance if you do your proper estate planning. You don't want to wait when such a situation happens and then only want to deal and be reactive, because that being reactive, guys, is not going to help in most cases. Okay, I hope you have found this useful. You're more than welcome to reach out to us, and then we can guide you how to solve your problems. Okay, good luck.